Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, and today I have for you a 2 versus 2 on Duclair. Yes, indeed, we shall be seeing two forces clash for dominance right here on the fields of Duclair. Shall be interesting, shall be exciting, shall be some rather high-level players, or at least partially high-level. And well, who shall be fighting? Alright, here we are seeing RainbowSix. We've already seen that chap, he certainly knows his stuff, fighting for the Panzer Elite. Fighting alongside shall be OinkOink, who is also known as Hixie, who I believe is also a rather high-ranking player. Combined, they make the 106th Panzer Brigade. And opposing them shall be EmoPanda, that's very manly. And VMD Cheezburgler, yes indeed we are seeing a bit of Cheezburgler once more, fighting for the Americans this time. Combined, they make the 2nd Armored Division. And of course, let's get right down to this. Is in fact going to be a bit of a long game, so no point in sort of mucking about with the long introductions. And of course, I might also want to point out that tomorrow I ought to have a nice little treat for you in terms of cars. So hopefully you should get a nice, pleasant surprise there. Today it's this, tomorrow something much more interesting. Well, a lot more interesting, I hope. Well, this isn't interesting, not interesting, but you get what I mean, right? Kettenkraut moving out. This is in fact a Kettenkraut, not the Schwimmwagen. Not unusual to see for a lot of Panzer Elite players. Not a lot favor the Schwimmwagen for the Panzer Elite. Panzergrenadiers marching outwards. Jokes. Do try to behave, Cheezburgler. Engineers heading southwards, all sticking to each other. Whereas Cheezburgler is going for the spread. Although it could be that Mr. EmoPanda is going for the fuel. That's certainly not an impossibility, and meanwhile continuing through the southern path here, 2nd Panzer Grenadier team has arrived for RainbowSix. We can stream hacks. No, you can't. Most people tend to sort of add a thing, so there's a delay, but still not a very nice thing, or a very clever thing to say. Then again, I think he might be joking. I bloody well hope he is. Panzer Grenadier is advancing. He did tell me it was a joke, but you know, sometimes you never know. Sometimes. But let's not get caught up in that. And there we go. And of course there's a delay. Anyhow, Volkswagen is facing off against the engineers. Engineers sort of pulling into our house, not looking entirely keen on that. And of course, for future reference, you don't joke like that, in particular when you're then proceeding to send in the cast. That tends to be bad form, generally not very funny, in particular not for me as the caster. But there we go, riflemen engaging the Panzergrenadiers right here. Panzergrenadiers pulling up behind their heavy cover. And Jeep moving in to assist the riflemen, probably going to push them out, of course. That's something some players love to do, in particular these Panzergrenadiers on their own are going to be very easy to push out. And there we go, Panzergrenadiers retreating rather than face losses. The Panzergrenadiers moving about, and only 3 teams of Panzergrenadiers immediately going for the Kampfgruppe Company. Meanwhile, in the north, OinkOink or Hixie facing onwards with Volksgrenadiers and MG42 pioneers running off some engineers in the north. Wehrmacht moving in to support the positions of RainbowSix, who is looking a bit dicey. Or at least not too well. More riflemen on the way for Cheezburgler. And riflemen on the way from EmoPanda as well, pushing onwards at all points. Taking as much away as they can from the west of the Wehrmacht of the 106th Panzer Brigade. Voice a bit rusty there. Pioneers and engineers facing off continually. Lots of submachine gun fire, of course not the most effective one. But looks like the engineers will be winning this through sheer numbers. A bike is ready though, could perhaps move things a bit around in the north. Volkswagen MG42 holding, Jeep and riflemen moving about. And we are seeing a straight rush for the Panzerjäger command by RainbowSix. 3 Panzer Grenadier teams and probably an armored car coming in very soon. Mines going down though at the same time in this area. Probably in the expectance of an armored car and the idea to possibly stop it. As it's not exactly uncommon, I fear, for a lot of Panzer Elite players to go straight for the armored cars. Engineers and pioneers facing off against each other. Engineer going down. The bike and the other pioneers bring a bit too much. Maybe these engineers could be lost. But the Jeep and some riflemen moving into the rescue. This position could look very, very lost for OinkOink, aka Hixie. fighting here. Panzergrenadiers hold up behind some cover, while riflemen hold up behind the other cover. Mines in between. And looks like the north is collapsing a bit for Hixie now, sending in a sniper against a jeep. That's less than great. Kettenkrad damaged, engine, everything is falling apart currently for the 106th. Riflemen running straight into the MG42 and the riflemen full screen is supporting it. Rather, the riflemen are moving ready to flank it, but Panzergrenadiers are moving in to flank the flankers. Flanking everywhere. Now the MG42 is getting flanked, rather tragically taking losses, and the Kettenkrad goes out of control, crashes in, and the MG42 needs to retreat, but oh dear, and the Panzergrenadiers are not moving in support, and the MG42, oh no, the MG42 is lost. Hicks having suffered grave losses, and now the MG42 is being stolen by those dastardly Americans. Panzergrenadiers continue to fight now with further Gewehr 43s. Armored car is on the way. Panzergrenadiers trying to get out of the line of fire of the MG42. Jeep moving about, pushing about, being a little bastard. Riflemen pushing onwards against the Panzergrenadiers, taking quite some shots themselves, but more riflemen engines pushing inwards. Heavy losses for the Panzergrenadiers. They need to retreat. Oh dear, that was a Panzergrenadier team down. Not good. Riflemen under fire from Jeep, the bike and sniper. And there we go. The armored car is ready, opening up on the Americans. At the same time, we are seeing a heavy machine gun and a sniper on the way for a Cheezburgler who has gone for weapon support center. My goodness. Will the armored car be pushing onwards? What in the north? Meanwhile, it looks like Pioneers are moving forwards under the supervision of the bike and the sniper. Some rather heavy losses though for OinkOink, aka Hixie. Pioneers continuing, led by the bike in the north. Not a lot of territory for the Wehrmacht. That was a pretty heavy blow right there in the center. Heavy machine gun ready for Cheezburgler. Riflemen, lots of mines there, perhaps, you know, getting ready for any sort of rushes towards the base for that sneaky little armored car, which is of course within this sort of first 5 minutes. Rather swift for us, but at the same time, as you might have noticed, it's rather limited what sort of effect that RainbowSix could otherwise have on the battle, since he was posing so many resources into that single unit getting up there so swiftly. So at the same time, his combat ability was rather limited, and of course now he only has 2 infantry teams, although 2 armored cars could help a bit, but then again, they are going to be taking some damage, and look there, even a jeep can actually do some damage to it. A heavy machine gun now opening up as well. Armored car already down to half health. This is less than sterling. Jeep though marching forwards, taking quite a bit of damage. This could in fact be the end for the jeep. Another heavy machine gun, oh wait, that's the MG42. And 30 caliber now up as well. Panzergrenadiers getting suppressed. Second armored car providing covering fire. Mind you, armored cars are not tanks. Some players seem to have a bit of a problem with that, already note. Down to half health and a damaged engine for very little fire, but then again they were sort of tried to be used as tanks, and they are not tanks. They cannot absorb that much fire. Now they're of course desperately trying to keep away the riflemen, blasting away with auto cannons as hordes of riflemen push onwards. Bike firing away from there, needs support from a sniper and whatever few full grenades are available. Lots of Pioneers seem to be available for OinkOink. The armored cars are now getting hit from every side by riflemen, not looking well. Pioneers ready, and looks like one is overloading its engines. And Panzergrenadiers moving in to try and support. Armored car goes out of control. That is less than spectacular. That is in fact horrific. And now Americans are attacking the positions of OinkOink, who are also... oh dear, this could be a sniper going down. Oh, heavy losses for the Wehrmacht, for the 106th Panzer Brigade so far already. Absolutely insane. And riflemen forced away, but with extremely heavy losses. Anti-tank gun ready, of course expecting some sort of Greyhound, and in fact already we are seeing a Greyhound getting all the upgrades that it's needed, and there's currently only going to be that Pack 38 to actually put a stop to it. Riflemen being forced away by full grenadiers and Pioneers with a flamethrower. Jeep could in fact find itself knocked out by the pack. No, it's knocked out by a mine, and just managed to avoid that other mine, which would probably have been a much of a great annoyance to Hixie, will then of course find himself losing 50 munitions to 1 jeep. Full grenadiers getting suppressed, not looking good. Mines being laid down by the Americans everywhere. Armored car advancing, and there's a Greyhound ready there, and MG42 opening up on the armored car. Armored car does not want to charge through there, and a Pioneer team is lost. Flamethrower bursts into sparks, and more Pack 38s getting ready for Hixie from his his Krieg barracks. That's the Kampfgruppe Company. Not entirely sure why I'm missing that bit about. They're not looking too well for the Axis already. They have taken quite some damage. TD and Sniper, Tank Destroyer and Sniper going straight for the tank depot then, of course. And perhaps getting another Sniper. There we go. Panzer is forced away. The 106th regrouping, making ready for another attack. Armored car opening up against engineers in the north. More mines by Cheezburgler. More mines by, in fact, everyone. But mostly the Americans, since they hold most of the territory and thus have the more incentive to lay down mines. But they are lacking a bit in infantry. And by a bit, I mean a lot. Assault Grenadiers now ready. Equipped with lovely Sturmgewehr 44. And spotting the mine and opening up with it on it with the armored cars. Packs moving in to support. No, they're not actually. They're a bit too far away to provide proper support. Panzer is taking up position here. Heavy machine gun opening up, and the sniper has revealed himself. Armored car moving in, but doesn't quite get it. They do get the gun up, but that's not going to help enough. Volkswagen's moving in. Another Panzer Grenadier gets sniped and retreats with the last one. Bunker going up for OinkOink. Could be a medic bunker or a repair bunker. Rifleman hanging about here, and we are seeing EmoPanda has gone for BARs, and he has of course gone for everything else that could sort of support a heavy infantry support, of course, besides. And there we go, Pack 38 getting off some good shots on the armored car. But the armored car managed to get out of there unscathed. Not looking well. A mortar half-track is now also gotten out by RainbowSix, opting for something that could perhaps dig out those heavy machine guns. Not a bad idea. Sniper sneaking about there. Wants to be a bit careful about against armored cars who can sniff him out and gun him down most swiftly. But doesn't really look like the Axis forces at this moment doing that much better. RainbowSix will be having a look at him. So far nothing going on. Wait, there we go. Probably what? No, I have no idea in fact. Oh, he's going for the Panzer Support Command. He's going now for 3 buildings. Quite a few buildings being built, but not quite enough units. Sniper opening up on the Pioneers, for laying down tank traps to sort of protect against any armored rushes through here. Not a bad idea. Of course, it will at the same time limit your own armored mobility and of course the armored cars. And no, it's not a medic bunker, it's in fact a repair bunker. To repair the Panzer Elite vehicle fleet, not a bad idea, of course, a bit of good support here. Panzer is fighting in the south. Rifleman hanging about here still. Assault Grenadiers could assault, but of course they need to be careful not to run into the mine. Volkswagen is getting suppressed. Sherman moving in, getting fired upon by the Pack 38. Sherman does take quite a bit of damage, and already 12 minutes in the game, and we are in fact seeing a Sherman tank. Rifleman going down, rather heavy losses. Panzer Grenadiers clearing out the south. Armored car moving in. Oh dear, and everything fell apart. And a mine gets hit. Oh dear, losing 2 Panzer Grenadiers. And the armored car hits another mine. This is mine bonanza. Mortar rounds flying. Sherman moving out once more here. Machine gun getting absolutely flanked. And incendiary grenades flying down upon it. Sherman gets hit further. Armored car moving in for the sniper kill. And oh dear. The mine knocks out the engine. And the sniper just barely gets away. That was what you call pretty bad. And the Sherman finishes off the job. Oh dear. A bold maneuver which was stopped by a single mine. Pioneers moving about. Pack 38 slowly inching forwards. More tank traps being laid down there, known as Dragon's Teeth, because, well, for some reason, people imagine that's how Dragon's Teeth look like, I suspect. Armored cars patrolling around. Anti-tank gun now up for EmoPanda. Panzer 6 now going up for RainbowSix, and suspecting Panthers. Not a bad suspicion, certainly what a lot of Panzer Elite players go for. Panzer is charging forwards at the riflemen, gunning them down a bit, but the armored car once more moves in. But at least they are able to slowly inch forward, stabilize the front. Grenadiers have arrived for OinkOink, Panzergrenadiers in hand. Lots of grenadiers, in fact. Panzer Brigade sending in some troops. Heavy machine gun though setting up. No, that's the MG42 by EmoPanda. And the M8 goes out of control finally. Oh wait, that looks like it actually hadn't been upgraded even. Oh dear. And now the Pak 38 though is in trouble since the infantry support is getting forced away. False Grenadiers heroically move in to place themselves in between. But will it be enough? MG42 setting up in a position to somehow protect. Sherman forced away by the Pak 38 rifleman, also forced away by the swift interception of the armored car rifleman going down. One rifleman team holding the line down there. Panzergrenadiers counter-attacking immediately. Quite a bit of resources getting floated, and he doesn't even have access to Panthers as of yet. That's not good at all. He should be getting Panzergrenadiers or something, you know, not floating close to 1,000 manpower. This is a bit awkward to see from a higher-ranking player like that. But taking back points. Artillery flying somewhere right there. Oh dear, anti-tank gun. Nope, that actually made it out of there safely. But the armored car and the mortar are heavily damaged, and I see dead Panzer Grenadiers. Or is it Grenadiers or False Grenadiers? Oh dear, it's a bit hard to tell. Armored car once more moving in. Panzer Grenadiers once more forced away. Now we are seeing the Panzer Support Command. He is really going for that Panther thing. Lots of mines by EmoPanda even there in what's supposed to be Wehrmacht territory. Pak 38 hoping to get off a good shot on the Sherman or two. No. That was less than spectacular. And two snipers opening up with a volley on the Grenadiers, taking two down in an instant, because they do have Veterancy 2, which makes them pretty much guaranteed hits, sadly. Veterancy 1 for one sniper. But good aggression so far by the Americans, really hitting at every angle, and so far the problem with the Axis forces have been, well, a bit of a lack of infantry and a bit of a lack of on-field forces by RainbowSix, trying to substitute that with armored cars, but of course armored cars are not quite good in a straight-up fight. They're more for flanking and all that. They're not for sort of absorbing damage, and they will pretty much quickly go up in smoke. Mortar is though helping a bit with that. Panzer still fighting out in the open against riflemen in heavy cover. Not good. Incendiary rounds going off. Panzer Grenadiers holding off against the riflemen, now moving in, and grenades getting lobbed. Oh dear, Panzer Grenadier team lost. This is some pretty nasty stuff for RainbowSix. Armored car awfully close to the mines, and artillery going off at the mortar half track. And another assault right here by Cheezburgler, support by heavy machine gun and snipers. Grenadiers getting sniped, suppressed, everything else in between. And anti-tank gun opening up on the half-track. Half-track needs to get away. Sherman moving in towards the center. Mortar rounds hitting. Apparently someone else has gotten a mortar as well. Or is that just the mortar half-track? Oh dear, so much to keep track of. Heavy losses right there. Several riflemen and some heavy machine guns go up in smoke and death. And finally the Panther battle group actually arrives. Panzerkampfwagen 5. What the Panzer Brigades were actually equipped with, that and Jagdpanzer 4, or actually it was called the Panzer 4 L70, basically referring to the gun, although it actually wasn't really a tank, it was more of an assault gun with a Panther gun. And Panther moving in against the Sherman. Oh dear, this could be the end for the Sherman. And three snipers. Cheezburgler spent quite a lot and hitting a mine. Sniper down. Oh dear. Armored car secures a serious kill for the fatherland, knocking out three snipers, although hitting a mine in the process. I'm pretty sure RainbowSix is quite pleased with himself. A bit of luck there. And I'm sure quite a boon for the Axis of the 106th Panzer Brigade. In fact, let's go have a look at Hixie. Hixie, who has gone defensive, thus lacking a bit the offensive firepower. But he does have for the fatherland, although he hasn't actually yet used it. And Panther advancing straight through the mines, coming under fire from the anti-tank gun, opening up on EmoPanda's heavy machine gun. Mortar advancing in, could be used to get some shots off on several anti-tank guns now. Oh dear. That's going to be a bit of a problem. Second mortar moving in now. Apparently they are getting ready to support a southern advance by the Panthers, right into several anti-tank guns and a minefield. Panther gets off a good shot. Oh dear, this Panther needs to get away. Heavy machine gun is cleared out though, but... And the Panther goes down to armor-piercing rounds, and again, mind you, armor-piercing rounds can be very lethal, can penetrate most things, and do more damage than a King Tiger. Anti-tank gun cleared out by the incendiary rounds. Mine gets set off. Tank destroyed by Cheezburgler moving in, and another mine hit by the Panther. Oh dear. The 116th Panzer Brigade could end up in a very, very bad problem if it suddenly loses its Panthers that quickly. And we are seeing a sector artillery going in. Sticky bombs on the Panther. Riflemen quickly retreating. This is getting more and more chaotic. Grenadiers moving in. Veterancy 2. No further veterancy on the way. But we are seeing another bunker going up to protect this area. Artillery now flying in. Tank destroyer losing its main gun. Ooh, this could be where things turn around a bit for the Axis forces. Certainly with the loss of the 3 snipers, and of course that's one thing you have to be careful with the 3 snipers. You can so very, very quickly lose them to anything. In this case, mines and, well, your own mines and a tank and an armored car. Although that is a bit more of an extreme case, but still taking heavy losses on all fronts. Artillery flying in. Could it be he has an artillery gun up? Yes, indeed. Very nasty, that. And, oh dear. Both Panthers, in fact, went down. That's very nasty, and of course, time for the mid-game analysis. Well, what is the situation? Well, after having been beaten back a bit, they are slowly advancing, but at a rather terrible cost. They've lost 2 Panthers in the process. I'm not entirely sure that's worth it, but they are at least holding some of the map, but they are not holding most of the victory points, which is going to be a bit of a problem for them if they don't soon rectify that. They are preparing defenses around this area, allowing them to shift further forces towards the south, which is certainly not a bad idea. But RainbowSix is certainly going to have to take a second spot, while OinkOink, aka Hixie, will be doing most of the fighting at this moment, since he actually has most of the units. RainbowSix not quite as much. In fact, barely having any infantry and a few armored cars, that's about it. Not really the thing to really push forward. On the other hand, the Americans are doing pretty well. Lots of riflemen, lots of BARs, lots of real nasty stuff. And supply and upgrades as well, at least for EmoPanda, but no medic stations. No medic bunkers for the Wehrmacht either, considering, you know, the heavy presence of Panzergrenadiers and whatnot. That does strike one as a bit odd, but they need to pull together, perhaps some more Panthers, but... Oh wait, a flak 88, that could certainly help a bit, but then again the artillery could also make short work of it. But a concentrated thrust and perhaps some sort of raid behind enemy lines to get knocked out that... So of course it is going to be a bit harder since there's no Fallschirm Jägers available for RainbowSix. He did go for Scorched Earth, but we've not seen a single... Oh wait, there's a booby trap. Never mind. But let us return to the fight, which is going to be continuing for some time. And let us return to EmoPanda. Armored car charging through in the south, going straight for the mortars. One in particular very damaged, and the other Pack 38 is not pointing in the right direction, turning around. Mortar needs to get away. And the Pack 38 opens up, and the mortar's cleared up. Flak 88 turns about. Flugzeugabwehrkanone 88. One of the most iconic weapons of the German Wehrmacht, although this is a bit of a shadow, can only deal with tanks, although the actual one can also deal quite swiftly with infantry. Calliope ready, or at least that's what that's being talked about. And another bunker going up for OinkOink. Armor coming in, forcing away the riflemen. Sector artillery still there. Anti-tank gun getting hit. Artillery now flying in against the Flag 88. There we go. Small bridge falling apart. Panzergrenadiers counter-attacking against EmoPanda's Rangers while waiting for Thompson submachine guns.
Enemy unit down.
And it looks like something was killed. That looks like was the Flag 88 crew. Grenadiers moving in. Panzergrenadiers still fighting, lots of rifles, lots of automatic weapons being arranged against the Panzergrenadiers. Assault rifles, armored cars, everything being turned against them. Of course, one grenade, and this could look very, very bad for EmoPanda. And there we go, in fact. Panzergrenadier team needs to get out of there. Oh dear. Lost. And it had just gained veterancy. That was quite tragic. And an armored car with defensive veterancy 3. 33 kills. Quite the slayer of men. Flag 88 recruit and a Goliath now moving in. That's a bit of a rarer sight. But another machine gun bunker, still not a single medic bunker that could actually help. And no attempt at actually salvaging the Panthers or armored cars or tanks for munitions. I can't help but feel that's a bit of a wasted opportunity there. Pioneers right here getting forced away by Cheezburgler's stoic rifleman of the 2nd Armored Division, who's certainly going for a bit of armor. In fact, now having several tank destroyers.
We got contact. Enemy unit down.
And firing away at the Flag 88. Nothing unusual there. Pioneers were lost to the Cheezburglering rifleman of Cheezburgler. Wehrmacht trying to establish a defensive line, having some luck with it. But I can't help but feel the choice of Scorched Earth and Defensive Doctrine is giving them a bit of a lack in offensive firepower, the bit, to turn things around. And we are in fact now seeing a medic station up. Good move there by Cheezburgler. Very good move. Panthers moving forwards. Armored car leading the way. Panzergrenadiers moving into support. Could the big grenadier support as well? No, apparently OinkOink has better things to do, like holding that very large point, while RainbowSix will then have to do most of the fighting. And tank destroyers moving in. Armored car tries to get out of there. Panthers fighting away, forcing away the M10 Wolverines. And the Panthers continuing for the hunt. And they miss. Absolutely spectacular. And we are seeing Allied War Machine going up for Cheezburgler's tank destroyer. And they're apparently just deciding to wait, but engineers moving in at the same time to repair them. This is not going to be a good standoff. The Panthers need to get away or knock out those Wolverines. Either way, a decision needs to be made. Shots keep ringing away. Panthers taking quite a lot of damage. And a tank destroyer, in fact, goes up. Calliope rockets flying in from far, far away, doing even further damage to the Panthers. Tank destroyer goes down. And we are seeing one gaining veterancy, but they need to get away. Retreat. No, don't advance. And the American infantry moving away. 6 artillery making things very hazardous for them. Hixie still holding the line with his grenadiers. Veterancy 2. His bunker positions, MG42s, and the Flag 88.
We are under fire.
Certainly also one of the primary anti-aircraft guns, like to be used as an anti-tank gun. Other sides didn't quite as much because either they hadn't actually been designed with that thought in mind, or at least couldn't, or in some cases like the British, they thought that was silly. It's an anti-aircraft gun, mate, not an anti-tank gun. That's absolutely silly and improper. What do you think this is? Cricket? Anyhow, engineers coming under fire by the MG42 by EmoPanda. That MG42 quite the thorn in the side of the Wehrmacht. Really starting most advances. Anti-tank destroyer moving in. Artillery firing away. Mortar half-track. Oh dear. Hitting a mine. Those mines really proving a bit of a problem. Anti-tank gun opening up on the M10. Grenadiers still suppressed but moving in. And another heavy machine gun to stop the other Grenadiers. This is quite unfortunate. Suppressing, pinning, killing, murdering. Panthers pulling up to the repair bunker for repairs. Certainly nice, that's there. And of course Panzergrenadiers having the last bit. And we are now seeing a Panzer command going up for OinkOink. But let's go look at Cheezburgler, the burglar of cheeses. He for whom the fromage holds the key. Calliope is ready. A bit more, no Pershings as of yet. All quiet as, well, most of the front line gets chewed up by so much artillery you wouldn't believe it. Then again, had it been the actual war, that would even more units than that been naval guns firing in as well. Well, not at this stage, of course, since we're sort of figuring it's closer to the German border and sort of the whole, Operation Wacht am Rhein, which just began yesterday. Yes, indeed. The Battle of the Ardennes began yesterday for, well, quite a few years ago. And more Calliope barrages moving in. Riflemen down to the registered artillery barrage. Riflemen getting stopped by the MG bunker right in the north. Artillery flying in once more on the Flag 88. There's absolutely no mercy for the anti-aircraft gun, but this area is actually looking rather cleared out. Could be a nice time for a counter-attack. Veterancy 3 now for X's Grenadiers, giving them a bit of extra health. Looks like tank destroyers are moving towards the north. And they can just clear out, hit that bunker, but that's about it. And there's, oh wait, there's still Pack 38 though to protect. And there we go, opening up on the tank destroyers of Cheezburgler, who in fact has 3 still. Engineers moving in to flank. Of course there are mines nearby. Pack firing away continually. If it could just hit, but apparently it can't. And minesweepers, very, very clever that. Clearing up mines, allowing for a flanking maneuver on this position. And we aren't seeing any panzers as of yet out of that panzer command. And the grenadier team lost to artillery, absolutely shattered. Oh, the horror. In the meanwhile, though, panthers and panzer grenadiers are securing the south. Not a lot, although anti-tank guns are moving in. If this is probably support, this could turn things around. And an unfinished howitzer. Might want to finish that, mate. Might want to finish that one. And there's absolutely nothing to stop those engineers in the north. Oh, the horror, the horror. And another climber gets called in. Still nothing coming out of that Panzer command.
Enemy
Panzer Brigade slaughtered, grenaded. But the 106th has managed to turn things around a bit against the 102nd Armored Division, but will it be enough? Tank destroyers moving in, Panther still a bit damaged, a bit of different veterancy actually. Panther is getting charged by lots of automatic weapons, need to retreat. They cannot survive this madness. And there we go. And also retaking the northern victory point.
Operations. Enemy unit down.
And Calipes on all those nice Panthers, so lovely climbed up, although the buildings do provide a bit of cover. Oh dear, Panther goes out of control, and artillery of the regular kind as well. And that was quite fortunate. One howitzer shell, in fact, bounces off the frontal armor of the Panther. I'm pretty sure the crew were quite thankful of whoever saved them there. Another Flak 88 going up for OinkOink. Absolutely amazing, and now my cursor looks likely very weird. More grenadiers hanging about here in the north. My cursor keeps looking weird. Now just a different kind of weird. Another bunker going up for OinkOink. Flag 88 opening up and out of control tank destroyer. Though Allied War Machine is up. Another tank destroyer moving about. Rifleman under fire from the Flag 88 and the MG bunker. More bunkers for everyone it seems. Hexy apparently figuring that bunkers will do the trick, not for example something from the Panther command like a simple Panzer 4. Another, oh dear, the rifleman getting too close to the Flag 88. A grenade might be the trick. Panthers moving in, just calling in as many Panthers as possible. Rangers and riflemen moving in. And the Flag 88 in fact survives. Let us return to RainbowSix, who doesn't really have a lot else than that sector artillery and those Panthers. More getting called in on the Wehrmacht lines. Having clearly rather realized they've been mostly spent, they're now pulling in for the defensive. Grenadiers apparently with a BAR moving about as well. Panthers counter-attacking the anti-tank guns. This is going to be very deadly and costly. Oh dear. And there we go, Panther out of control. Of course a single infantry unit could have cleared those anti-tank guns very swiftly, but no. He only had Panther, so he had only had that to attack with. That's a bit of the problem right there. And looks like another Panther could go down. That, oh no. Another anti-tank gun, in fact, providing cover to the other anti-tank guns. This is absolutely insane. Anti-tank gun goes down, but oh dear, fear another Panther might go down. In fact, no, the anti-tank gun gets cleared up. But now tank destroyers and riflemen moving in for the kill. And the Flag 88 is down for the count. Another Panther goes down, and the last Panther goes out. The 106th Panzer Brigade suffering exorbitant losses. That's so far 6 Panthers down. That's more than one platoon, one squadron of Panthers. Couldn't fact be a small company soon. In fact, just another call in, I think. Now Hummel's being called in, and another Calliope barrage onto the defensive positions. And of course, that's rather the problem with a lot of defensive positions when your opponent has Calliopes and howitzers. Yet for some reason, Hexy persists, despite the fact that it only makes his troops easier targets instead of, say, getting something like a Panzer 4, Knight's Cross, Panther, stuff like that. And this pretty much looks like the end of the Panzer Brigade. M10's charging in. Flag 88 standing all on his own. Looks like the Panzer Grenadiers might be making a run for it. Oh dear, this could certainly cost him 250 manpower, but still, on the other hand, that Flag 88 could be the only thing saving them from complete disaster at this moment. Rather than fighting in the north, the heavy machine gun setting up. Quite horrific. Riflemen getting suppressed. Mortar rounds flying, doing a bit of damage, but things have certainly gone a bit wrong here. Flag 88 firing like a madman. Incendiary rounds going in towards the victory point. Riflemen now moving in. Another repair bunker by OinkOink right there. Looks like he's calling in another Panther battle group. And Sector Artillery getting called in. Missing the riflemen. Mortar halfback getting sticky bombed. Engine though survives. Riflemen getting stopped by an MG42. The northern lines are in fact still intact, unbelievably. And again, the Americans don't really need to attack there. Riflemen going down to Flag 88. Fire Grenadiers finding a way as well. And the howitzer once more fires. The Panthers advance. This is absolute pandemonium, and I'm pretty sure this ground is absolutely ruined by all the artillery fire, by all the shrapnel and fragments. Grenadiers getting suppressed by the MG42 still there. Tank destroyers and another heavy machine gun. Absolutely nuts. And no artillery fire to actually provide any support here, except a slight mortar, it seems. M10 running straight into a lot of heavy fire, going down. And now Hixie getting his own Panther. Turn things around perhaps, or perhaps not. The final charge of the 106th Panzer Brigade perhaps, or not. Although it's certainly going to look a lot like that charge of that Light Brigade over in the Crimea, if I'm not mistaken. More Calliopes going in. More heavy damage. Anti-aircraft gun and no more. Snipers moving about. Apparently Cheezburgler has had time to replace his own snipers. Very nasty. Another Flag 88 and then it's gone. That's not a good record. Again, simply too much static defenses for Hixie. Not enough mobile bits, and that was another Panther down. That was in fact Hixie's own Panther. And an MG42 down. That is certainly not looking very well at all. Artillery flying in. Calliopes also. The Panthers desperately moving away. Heavy machine guns suppressing the riflemen. Panther opening up on the anti-tank gun. Anti-tank gun apparently not quite reacting, but now they are. But will it be soon enough? Crew getting killed by the Panthers, viciously firing away. And there we go. And then another Calliope barrage to put a stop to that. Simply so much artillery. 2 Calliopes, 2 howitzers, and too many static defenses by Hixie. And RainbowSix pulling out. I think we might as well speed up the last bit then. And having one. Panther down. Yes, this is pretty much swiftly. This is just... And Oink Oink apparently not quite happy. And of course Cheezburgler not being very friendly either, you know, trying to be a bit polite. And of course this is just, you know, a bit of mopping up. Axis positions utterly collapsing.
Now have incendiary grenades at our disposal.
Having fought so hard, now all for nothing. And there we go, playback over. Hexy running away, fearing the presence of the Kettenhunde, the field police. So there we go, and of course hope you did find this match exciting, interesting, fun and all that. And of course question is, well, what the devil can we learn from this? That is of course the clever bit. Well, I mean of course both going, you know, infantry, both, you know, having some anti-tank assets, you know, having some mobility is of course a nice thing. And of course the trouble was, where the Axis, they both went for these sort of defensive, the passive doctrines, you know, defensive and scorched earth. Didn't quite help them, rather gave them the inability to really, you know, push and attack, you know, no artillery to support, nothing to call in, not a single incendiary rocket, no butterfly mines, no Fallschirmjägers to be called in, no anything. That was a bit of a problem there, not even a hetzer to perhaps, you know, lead a charge. Although that's not perhaps the thing you want to lead a charge with, but, you know, better than sacrificing so many Panthers. And really, you know, I mean, RainbowSix constantly went for something, you know, but he didn't get enough of a solid combination, you know. A few Panzers, then he went for armored cars, which he lost. Then he flew in a mortar half-track, which did alright. Then he went for the Panthers, which of course were quickly lost, because again he was sort of rushing into minefield territory, and there was no... which he never did really bother to hold. So he was rather, you know, crippling himself, and Hexy was simply much too defensive, much too passive, much too many bunkers, not even a single medic bunker though, but many repair bunkers, lots of MG bunkers. And he definitely perhaps should have, you know, charged a bit more around, you know, spread out the Americans a bit. And certainly another thing that was sad to see was, you know, there was no attempt to sort of perhaps, you know, flanking in here and get those anti-tank guns. But there you go. I do hope you enjoyed this match. If you did, why not subscribe, tell your friends, and if you didn't, well, why not tune in for tomorrow? Well, having a much more exciting match featuring one of the most high-ranking players in the Company of Heroes game. So, hope you enjoy. Cheers!